Hey everyone, welcome back to WordWise, the podcast where we help you talk about life, one word at a time. I'm Jake.
And I'm Nina. Today's topic is something we all deal with: stress and relaxation. Jake, be honest. Are you more of a cool cucumber or a stress potato?
Oh, I'm a solid stress potato sometimes, especially when my coffee machine breaks. But I've learned a lot of ways to talk about stress and calm, which actually helps me manage those feelings better. Emotional vocabulary is underrated.
It really is. People always say, I'm stressed, but there are like a million shades of stress. Where do we even start?
Great point. Let's kick off with some basic but powerful words. Stressed is the classic, but there's also overwhelmed, anxious, frazzled, or even burned out. Each one paints a slightly different picture.
I like frazzled. It makes me think of someone whose hair is literally standing on end. But what's the difference between, say, overwhelmed and anxious?
Good question. Overwhelmed usually means you have too much on your plate. It's like trying to juggle flaming swords when you can barely handle oranges. Anxious, on the other hand, is more about worried feelings, even if you don't have a lot to do. You could be lying in bed, no tasks, but still anxious.
So, overwhelmed is the mountain of emails, and anxious is the imaginary monster under your bed?
Exactly. And then there's burned out. That's when stress sticks around so long, you start feeling numb or exhausted, like you don't even have the energy to be frazzled anymore.
That's so real. I think a lot of listeners can relate to feeling burned out. Is there a word for the opposite? You know, when you're completely at peace?
Definitely. Relaxed is a classic, but there's also calm, at ease, serene, chilled out, or even zen. Each one has its own vibe. Serene makes me think of a still lake at sunrise. Chilled out is more like watching TV in pajamas.
Zen is such a fun word. It feels cool just saying it. Can you use it in a sentence?
Sure. After my yoga class, I felt totally zen, like nothing could bother me. Or, if you want to be playful, my cat is always zen, unless the food bowl is empty.
My cat is zen until the vacuum comes out. So, what about when you're on the way from stress to relax? Is there a word for that in-between feeling?
Oh, absolutely. Relieved is a big one when the stress lifts, but you're not totally relaxed yet. Unwinding is another. It's like the slow process of taking off tight shoes after a long day.
Unwinding sounds so nice, like a little ritual. What are some ways people talk about relaxing or de-stressing in English?
Tons. Blow off steam is one, means to let out stress, maybe by exercising or yelling into a pillow. Kick back is another, means to relax and do nothing. Take it easy is a classic too. And chill out, that's a favorite.
Blow off steam always makes me picture a teapot whistling. So, let's say someone's feeling tense but wants to politely say it. Is tense a good word?
Definitely. Tense is a go-to, and it can be physical or emotional. You might say, I'm a bit tense today, and people will get that you're feeling stressed without it sounding dramatic.
Got it. What about more formal ways? Like maybe at work or in an email to your boss?
Great point. You might say, I'm experiencing some pressure, or I'm under a lot of strain. Those are polite and professional. I'm feeling overwhelmed with the current workload is also office appropriate.
Pressure and strain sounds so serious, but I guess sometimes you need that. Are there any fun or playful ways to talk about being stressed?
Oh, tons. You could say, I'm running around like a headless chicken, or I'm losing my marbles, or even, my brain is fried. Adds a little humor to the situation.
Losing my marbles is my favorite. So, what about relaxation? Any fun idioms for that?
Sure, let your hair down means to relax and have fun. Take a load off is inviting someone to sit and rest. In the zone can mean you're focused, but sometimes it's used for being in a peaceful flow.
Let your hair down. I wish I could, but my hair has a mind of its own. Now, Jake, do you have a story about a time you totally misused one of these words?
Oh, absolutely. My first year teaching, I told my class I was burned out after a long day. The students looked horrified. Turns out, in their language, burned out meant completely finished or destroyed. I had to backtrack and explain I was just tired, not quitting forever.
That's hilarious. I once told my British friend I was knackered after a busy week, and she laughed because apparently it's much stronger in the UK, like absolutely exhausted. She thought I'd run a marathon.
That's the fun of English. One word can mean something totally different in another place or context. Speaking of context, should we look at how stress and relaxation words are used in pop culture or movies? Sure. In The Devil Wears Prada, Andy says, I'm just one stomach flu away from my goal weight. It's a funny way to show she's overwhelmed and burned out. Or in Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Ferris says, life moves pretty fast. If you don't stop and look around once in a while, you could miss it. That's all about relaxing and enjoying the moment.
Classic. So, let's switch gears. I have a question from a listener. Maria from Brazil writes, how do I politely tell someone I need space to relax without sounding rude?
Awesome question, Maria. You could say, I just need a little time to recharge, or I need some quiet time to unwind. Adding, it's nothing personal helps too. People usually understand. It's healthy to ask for space.
Love that. And sometimes, just saying, I need a moment to myself works wonders. Okay, Jake, let's play our favorite game. Language fail of the week. Any good ones?
Oh, I've got a classic. My friend once said, I'm so stressed, I need to explode. But what she meant was I need to blow off steam. Her boss nearly called security.
That's epic. I once said, I'm decompressing to my French roommate, and she thought I was talking about scuba diving. She asked if I needed oxygen.
That's why picking the right emotional vocabulary matters. You might want to relax, not get a rescue team.
For real. So, Jake, what are your top tips for expanding your emotional vocabulary around stress and relaxation?
First, listen for new words in shows, podcasts, or books. Context helps. Second, keep a little journal of phrases you like. Third, practice swapping out stressed for more specific words, like overwhelmed or frazzled. Finally, don't be afraid to use playful idioms. They make conversations way more colorful.
I'd add, ask friends how they describe their feelings. You'll learn so much. And don't stress about making mistakes. Language is all about experimenting.
Couldn't agree more. Remember, the more words you have for your feelings, the easier it is to manage them and connect with others.
Love that. Okay, listeners, if you enjoyed today's chat, make sure to follow, share, and subscribe. Tell us your funniest language fails or your favorite ways to talk about stress and relaxation.
Thanks for hanging out with us. Until next time, keep calm, keep learning, and remember, even stressed potatoes can become cool cucumbers.
Bye, everyone. Don't forget to let your hair down today.